My name is Emily Carter, and I'll never forget the summer of my 17th year. Not because of some life-changing vacation or whirlwind romance, but because of a strange and unforgettable week when everything I knew about rules, structure, and parenting flipped upside down. My mother, Susan Carter, is the kind of woman who makes life happen. She's organized, neat, and always buzzing with activity. She makes lists for everything: groceries, chores, school events, even which socks I should wear with certain shoes. My dad, Robert Carter, is her complete opposite. Laid back, mild-mannered, and a quiet observer, he's the kind of guy who can sit in the same chair for hours with a book and a cup of coffee and not move an inch. We lived in a small, picturesque town just outside Portland, Oregon. Life was simple but routine, especially during the school year. But this story begins on the first Saturday of summer break. That morning, Mom had packed a suitcase with meticulous care. She was heading to San Diego to visit her childhood friend, Lisa, who had just undergone surgery and needed some help around the house. I stood in the driveway, sipping on an iced coffee as she gave me her usual parting instructions. Don't forget to feed the cat twice a day. And make sure the dishwasher gets emptied. Dad sometimes forgets. Also, there are vegetables in the fridge. Don't let him convince you that pizza counts as dinner every night. I laughed, but I knew she wasn't really joking. I'll take care of it, Mom. Don't worry, I assured her. She gave me a hug and then turned to Dad. Robert, I left the schedule on the fridge. Please don't let her spend all day on her phone or watching TV. She's supposed to be reading those summer assignments. Dad nodded solemnly, but there was a twinkle in his eyes I didn't notice until much later. After we waved goodbye and her Uber rolled away down the street, I turned to Dad and asked, "So, what's the plan?" He shrugged and gave me a half smile. Plan? There's no plan. You're on vacation. Do what you want. I blinked. Seriously? He walked back inside, tossed his shoes off near the couch and said, "Seriously? You want to eat cereal for dinner? Go ahead. You want to sleep in until noon? That's fine with me. Your mother's gone for a week. I'm not about to turn into her." At first, I thought he was joking. But then, the days passed, and he stayed true to his word. On Sunday, I slept in until almost 11 a.m. No one barged into my room to open the curtains. No one told me to get dressed or eat a balanced breakfast. I padded downstairs in my pajamas, and Dad was already on the couch, halfway through a detective novel. "Want some leftover waffles?" he asked. Sure. We ate waffles with chocolate chips while watching a cooking show neither of us really cared about. The cat meowed lazily from her perch by the window, and I started to feel like something strange was happening. Like time had paused, and I'd stepped into some alternate version of my life. Monday was even lazier. I lay in bed most of the day, scrolling through social media, texting my friends, and watching movies. At one point, I hesitantly brought up the summer reading list Mom had mentioned. "I should probably start reading To Kill a Mockingbird," I said over dinner. Dad shrugged. "There's time." And just like that, the topic was closed. By Wednesday, my internal guilt started to creep in. The dishes were piling up. The laundry basket overflowed. The cat had taken to knocking things off counters for attention. I stared at the fridge schedule Mom had so carefully written out and realized we hadn't followed a single thing on it. I mentioned it to Dad while we were out getting milkshakes. She's going to be so mad when she sees we didn't follow the list. He smiled over the rim of his cup. "Let me tell you something, Em. Your mother makes those lists because it helps her feel in control. But life isn't a list. It's messy. Sometimes you have to let things go." It was strange hearing that from him. My whole life, it had been Mom who ran the show. Dad was always quiet, always agreeable. But now that she was gone, I saw a different side of him. Not careless, but free. Calm in a way I didn't expect. He wasn't trying to replace her. He was just being himself. That night, I stayed up late watching old sitcoms and laughing until I cried. I heard Dad laughing in the next room too. I think we both needed that release. On Thursday morning, I woke up early, on my own. No alarms, no knocking, just this weird urge to get out of bed. I made coffee, fed the cat, even started the laundry without anyone telling me to. I realized that something had shifted inside me. For the first time, I wasn't doing chores out of obligation. I was doing them because they made my life better, cleaner, more peaceful. When Dad came downstairs and saw me folding towels, he raised an eyebrow. "You okay?" I laughed. "Yeah. I just thought maybe it was time." He nodded thoughtfully and grabbed a towel to help me. By the time Saturday came and Mom's return was only hours away, the house was relatively clean again. Dishes were done, laundry folded. Even the schedule on the fridge had some check marks added just in case she looked. When Mom walked through the front door, dragging her suitcase and looking exhausted, she immediately noticed something was different. "The place looks good," she said slowly, suspiciously. Dad gave her a kiss on the cheek. "We survived." She turned to me. "Did you finish your reading?" "Not all of it," I admitted. "But I started. And I'll finish it." She looked at Dad. "Did you follow the schedule?" He grinned. "Not even a little." She rolled her eyes but didn't argue. Instead she smiled, really smiled, and said, "Well, I guess that means you both learned something." And we had. I learned that structure is good, but freedom has its place too. That doing nothing isn't always lazy. It's sometimes exactly what your mind and body need. And I think Dad learned that he could trust me more than he realized. That I wasn't a little girl who needed reminders taped to the fridge. That summer didn't end with a big adventure or dramatic moment. But it changed how I saw my parents. Especially my dad. Now, whenever life gets overwhelming, I think back to that week. The week of waffles for dinner, sleeping until noon, and finding joy in simply being. And I remember that sometimes, doing nothing teaches you everything.